Purdy in the gun. 3 receivers left. Kittle, Jennings, Debo from in to out. Ayuk is right. Purdy back. Time. Steps around from DeMarcus Lawrence. Throws for the end zone. Caught by George Kittle. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Boy, what a start. First drive for this offense.
They got CeeDee Lamb, the number 3 receiver, inside. Now he goes in motion right, followed by Isaiah Oliver. 49ers are tipping man on 3rd and 2. Dak back. Plenty of time. Pumps. Now rolls left. Now he's going to get sacked by Fred Warner and Javon Kinlaw. He's getting the ball out of his hands quick against everybody but the Niners. He held the ball way too long. Here's an end around and a flea flicker. Back to Brock Purdy. Takes a shot down the sideline to George Kittle. Kittle all the way to the end zone. Touchdown!
What's going on, 49er faithful to the Bay? It's your hostess with the Moses. It's your boy Breezie. Got John Chapman, 49ers Rush, in here on a freestyle freaky Ricky Friday. John, what's going on, my guy? Salute to you, baby.
Oh, man, so glad to be here. The Niners get to play. We get to watch Fred Warner play football in 2 days. What is there not to be excited about? Anytime you get to see 5-4 out there, it's a good day.
Yeah, I never looked at it like that. I get to watch my favorite player go full steam, Ricky Steamboat, the Dragon Steamboat, ahead of everything. You just made me that much more excited because you know we got to deal with the Twilight Zone era of the Niners and their injuries. But there's one player on this team that's not injured. I knock on all the wood that you could find. Yep. And he's going to give it 110% every single time. Every single time. You just made me excited, man. John, thank you for that. I appreciate you. I know you're a little under the weather. Guys, keep John in your prayers, man. He's not feeling good. And so we got to give him all the faithful to the Bay 49er juju so that he can get through this show, get some rest, and be ready to go on Sunday because he's got a lot of stuff he's got to get to. Shout out to all the Breezy Bunch crew members out there. Thank you so much for tuning in to another WayneBreezie show. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, comment in the comment section. We're going to pull up some of those comments and stuff like that. All right. And if you guys got questions, man, make sure you still, ask them. I'll do my best to star them and we'll get to them toward the end of the show. Also, check out the sponsors over at residency.com. Use that promo code SFBreezy. You can save on your total purchase. You actually can save $5 whole. Believe it or not, it's a lot of motherfucking money in today's world.
I use it every time I buy their hats, man. I use it every time.
Just gotta save money. Why not save money? If you could save on shipping, if you could get something for free, take advantage of that promo code SFBreezy over there, man. And don't forget to check out all the film analysis on the Patreon. It is there for you. All you got to do is go to www.patreon.com and sign up the WayneBreezie. Join one of the tiers. Now, I'm starting to do the live watch parties. And, John, I did my first watch party. Well, my second watch party. But last week was so good. It was so official. Because they got a chance to experience the WayneBreezie.
It's a trip, man. It's a trip, man. Like, I'm telling you, I will never forget our Denver experience. We were sitting next to each other in Denver for the worst quarterback game in the history of the NFL. Like that Russell Wilson versus Jimmy G game. It was like 10-9 or whatever the damn score was. Dude. Half the game I'm watching the game. The other half I'm watching Wayne just lose his mind. It was incredible.
First of all, John, the altitude was high.
It was.
That's number one. Second, we were sitting high up in the high altitude, but the 50-yard line. I mean, we could see everything, right? So John put me on to the best vantage point. It don't matter where you sit at the 50-yard line, but you get to see the perfect vantage point. And so I never knew that. Shout out to John. But I didn't understand what was going on with our team. And I didn't understand how you could throw a pick 8 or something like that. It was like Bradley Chubb. Speaking of Bradley Chubb, there's a rumor, not a rumor, but maybe the Niners maybe they'll be interested in Bradley Chubb, which is the guy that intercepted Jimmy Garoppolo in that game. We'll talk about that a little bit later, man. But shout out to the members. Jax Knox is in the building. Hey, Wayne, John, and Faithful. It's Friday. We getting ready to be 4-0. This is our 17-0 season. John, how confident without going into your game plan, are you that the Niners will be 4-0 after this Sunday afternoon?
I'm pretty confident, actually. I think that they're the better team. I think they're the better coaching staff, even with the injuries. I think that they belong in the victory column at home. I do think that they're the better team and more consistent team, which that is the thing that is going to be talked about a lot today, consistency. The Jaguars are not that in any way, shape, or form outside of their defense. They're not consistent. Not at the quarterback, not at the wide receiver, not at the O-line. Their defense is. Everything else is not. And what's crazy, they're even worse on special teams. Don't tell nobody. They're even worse on special teams.
Don't tell nobody. Who's that? Don't tell nobody. Can you know who that is? Rest in peace.
I'm missing it. Is that Friday, Dad?
Yeah, it's a Friday, Dad. That's John Witherspoon. Let's go. Let's go. We told you movie references, music references. What you gonna get from John and Wayne? Like, yeah, man, Friday, Dad. John Witherspoon, man. Rest in heaven, man. What a funny character. Man. His son is funny too. His son imitates his dad and does skits like his dad. Rob D, I posted this because John, is there a way I could buy that helmet? I need that helmet.
It's so clean. I haven't seen it out there yet. I know somebody's going to have them produce.
Even a mini one. I'll get a mini one. Like
it's got to come out soon.
I thought they were out, but I want the authentic, the Rydell. I think that's who makes them or whatever. I want the real deal. I mean, it can still be a replica, but a real replica. I want a real fake one. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure you understood what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? I want the real fake one. Now, Boats, he's been putting this stuff out here. And John, this is not the year of fantasy football for Breezie. Like, it's just not a good season. It's not a good season for me. I know I'm projected to beat him, but that's not how it works out when the game goes. So how are you doing in fantasy football this year?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm 4-2. I'm in 2 leagues, so I'm 4-2 combined record. I'm doing all right. All right.
Yeah. I knew I didn't like you. I couldn't. Yeah. And I'm just curious, like, in the league that you're 4-2 in your leagues, but who are some of the quarterback? Like, are you quarterback driven? Are you wide receiver driven? Are you running back driven? Like, are you just mixed? Like,
I am never quarterback driven. So I got Dak super late, and you have to. Smart. I love matching good quarterbacks with bad defense. That's it's always what I do, and so I always wait on quarterbacks.
All right, so don't tell no more of your strategy because I like that. Like, that's an actual good strategy. Oscar in the building, 49er Jeff in the building. Let's start the show off with a couple of super chats, and then I'll do more shout outs as we go along. Jax Knox with a super chat says, Wayne and John, which defensive player? Ooh. See, this is what super chats to me is all about. You know, it's not just giving the money and donating the money. It's also getting your take off and asking a question like that we can actually answer. Which defensive player will be player of the game and who will be the coach of the game? Kyle or Robert? So these are all 49er driven from Jax Knox, right? Do you think Kyle's offense would shine, or is it going to be another Robert Saleh's defensive day? And who's going to be that defensive player of the game?
I think Diamador Lenore, teams have stayed away from him. Now, Brian Thomas Jr. likes to play predominantly on the left side, which would put him against Renardo Green a lot. But I just feel like number 2 is going to be making some plays at some point during this game. So that's my guy there. And man, I'm sticking with Kyle Shanahan. I think Kyle Shanahan should be the number 1 vote getter for coach of the year so far. What he's done with backup quarterback, injuries, no George Kittle, no Brandon Ayuk, no DeMarcus Robinson. Brock Purdy's out for a couple. Like, Robert Saleh is amazing. And I'm not trying to take anything away from him. But if you were asking me who my coach of the year vote would be at this point, it should be Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, I think this. If there's no other season where, I felt like there's a couple of seasons where I thought he should have won it.
Been runner-up twice.
Right? But when you're a coach that just, when adversity sets and hits the Niners, it's all in. It's like I've never seen adversity go all in on a team. They went all in on the Lions defense last year, but they still competed. But they are all in on the Niners, and it's taken away. Their quarterback's hurt. Both quarterbacks are hurt. Their tight end is out on the IR. Now their best defensive pass rusher is on the IR. Like, it's just ridiculous when you look at it. And I know last week you talked about the Cardinals having more injured players and things like that. But to me, it comes down to the quality of the players that end up on the list or not playing in a game, which is more detrimental to the team. So yeah, Jax, I like John's choices. If I had to answer the question, I think it's going to be Fred Warner. He just sets the tone. Yeah, the 5'4", the scary Freddy, Fat Five Freddy, whatever you want to call him. And I've been high on Kyle Shanahan. I love Robert Saleh. I think he's the best acquisition coach-wise that we got in the offseason in years since he left. But Kyle is calling a hell of a game, and he's trying to figure out ways to get his stuff to work. And I will always say, if you don't understand Kyle, that's fine. Just go watch that Netflix special Receiver, and you may understand Kyle Shanahan a little bit more. Because in that Super Bowl, when players get hurt in game, Kyle really doesn't know what's going on. And when George Kittle left the game, he didn't even know George Kittle wasn't out on the football field until the coach told him. He was like, well, fuck it, run the play anyway. And they ran it to
Saubert.
Shit, I love you. You complete my sentences. You complete me. And they ran it to Saubert. It just was not the same execution. But so Kyle, he gets the bad because he's the coach. Yeah, sometimes play calling is suspect. Why'd you call run play? Why'd you call bad? I get that. That's fine. But he's doing a tremendous job. His team is 3-0. And he helped shape this defense too. Like, the defense is definitely holding it out. So, a couple more super chats before we get into some news and stuff. 49ers _throwback moderator of the channel as well. So is Jax. Thank you so much. Happy Friday. Hope all is well. Man, that Seattle win has been looking good for the 49ers. I know you ain't losing your faith in Marv H, but come on, he ain't good. John, I know one person that's not going to be happy with this, and that's Peachy.
Oh,
no,
Peachy. Yeah.
She's the Ohio State Buckeye connoisseur. But hey, he doesn't look good.
No, him and Kyler are not on the same page at all.
I think that's more Kyler's fault, though.
That is, Marvin's been terrible by himself with the drops and, quitting on routes and all that stuff. He's been awful, but the talent is still there. You see 100%, it. 100%. It's just, man, I don't know.
He's in his own head.
Change up the situation a little bit, what needs to happen, because with what they're doing, and this is what the Cardinals always do. They fall off. They start off red hot, then they just fall off. And yeah, they went 2-0, but then they dropped 2 games in a row to game-winning kicks. Not where you want to be, and they left a lot on the table there. So, Arizona.
It's going to be tough for them, but at the end of the day, they're still competing. They were getting blown out, and they found a way to fight back and claw back. They're also missing their tone setter, their leader. They're missing that. I don't know how much Kyler Murray is of a leader if you're an Arizona fan watching this game, but he clearly isn't a leader that they need. He's not even a decent quarterback at this point. He threw a couple of interceptions in this game, but one of the first interception was because him and Marvin Harrison are just not on the same page. The reason why I said it's his fault is because it's his job as a captain to get the young guy on the same page.
It's the 7th year in the league. If it's not now, when is it? When is it?
Yeah, when is it? But the Seattle win does look good because they're a top team in the league, and we beat that top team. Yeah. So I don't know if that holds any weight in the power rankings. We're not going to have that conversation. We did that on Tuesday, but it is what it is. Gammon, where you been, bro? All right. Now, when John pulls down, he has to handle some sick duty. So don't think I'm kicking him off the show. He'll be back when he gives me the thumbs up.
There we go. Sorry about that, man. Let's do that for the audio listeners.
I love it. I love it. Gammon says, John, stop stealing Wayne signs. You're alive.
I'm just saying.
Which signs did you steal? I missed it.
Oh, that's just referencing Robert Saleh and the whole
we're getting to it. We're gonna get to that.
Let's do it.
Let's get to that. All right, let's talk about that. We got one more before we go. John, be straightforward on how he feels. 1,000%.
I only know one way. I don't know how to be dishonest. I can give a politically correct answer sometimes, but usually it's that dude's an idiot. Usually that's the way it comes down. So I could try to butter it up a little bit, Jax, but I'm on Wayne's show. That means I'm going to say how I feel.
Let's do it. All right. So Robert Saleh on the Jags, legal sign stealing. I get touchy-feely. Like I don't like to talk about this stuff because being a Michigan fan, it really with me. Like it messed me up a little bit. Then my dumb ass went and watched the special on it. And like I'm like, why'd you even watch the Netflix special? Like I don't even know how much of it is real. But let's just talk about
y'all dress the coach up in the opposing gear and hit him behind the like.
I can't. You're not supposed to tell what happened, man. They said, "Yep, we was cheating." I just leave it at that. You know what? This is my thing about cheating. Everybody cheats. It's just don't get caught. Yeah. Right? Like don't get caught. Like,
with Mark Grace, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
You ain't trying. like what way? But let's talk about Robert Saleh. He actually came out his mouth and said it. So give me Robert Saleh's take on this, John. What is your take on his take?
So, like, this is legal, and this happens at every single level. We used to try to figure this out as well. We would go and you'd watch opposing teams, and you try to figure out what some of their signals are and whatever else. Because, high school football in Texas, it's all just, they're all sending the signals by hand and whatever else. So, like, you can start to figure out some of these things. And so defensive adjustments are simple. And so those audibles on the defense, when they're communicating, you'll see the 49ers, they'll do the stretch, they'll do the special call, they'll do those things. And so whenever the safety and the corner and the linebacker are all doing the same signal, man, you watch enough tape, you can figure out what those things are. And so, yeah, they're watching those. And if they make those adjustments before 15 seconds when the mic hasn't cut off in the quarterback's head, man, you're radio in. Hey, they're going to cover 3 roll, cover 6, like – you can get those things. Banjo on number 1. Like, you understand what those calls are. So if you make those adjustments with 15 seconds or more on the play clock, head coach is radioing in, hey, this is what they're running over there.
Wow. So there is legal sign stealing. What makes sign stealing illegal, though? Like when you dress up and
when you
disguise yourself?
Videotape their practices like Bill Belichick always did.
That was Spygate.
Yeah, so like whatever you do that's not legal when you're recording stuff. But if you watch tape and you can see on all 22 when the players make their calls and the can on offense or the kill or the flip,
that's legal.
All those things. That's legal. That's legal.
So what's the difference?
You're recording it and like all that kind of stuff. If Bill Belichick or Tom Brady does it, it's illegal because those guys freaking awful human beings. They are just terrible, but that's okay.
But I guess my question is, why not just make it legal? Like if I'm going to get the all 22 and be able to see the stuff, then why not let everybody just record practices?
Yeah, because they won't put. I mean, Kyle won't do that. Teams will not.
I'm saying
allow,
if you let it happen, like you say it's okay. I don't know. Like just something. It's the same way I feel about the steroid stuff.
Oh, right, and baseball and all that
stuff. Just make it legal.
Hey, let's see how big they can get.
Yeah, pause. I guess. Like sign stealing. Can you guys hear this?
Is there any thoughts to that?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to speak on that fully right now. Have a huge game for us coming up this weekend. Got a great defense that we've got to go and attack, and that's where our whole mindset and mentality is right now.
Were you surprised he went there?
Yeah, again, we're really trying to focus
Come on, Liam!
A darn good defense that we have to go and try to go attack and offensively get better, about us getting better, putting it together for 4 quarters and trying to create some explosives in the pass game, some of those things that we're, trying to get better at as an offense. And so that's where the focus is right now.
Forgetting his comments, isn't that part of coaching, is trying to figure out...
They're trying to get him to say something.
Yeah,
they're trying.
They're trying. Typically, by formation, by game plan, by working really hard as a coaching staff throughout the week, trying to get indicators by your formation, motion, shift, pre-snap. Those are the things that you're trying to do as a coach if you're, trying to put your players in the best position to be successful, whether it's attacking man or zone coverage with your formations, motions, and concepts. So it's a lot of hard work that goes into game planning and trying to put your players in the best position to be successful.
Explosives on offense early.
All right, so I got to give my thumbs down. That was a bull crappity crap answer. Did you? I mean, that was like the safe way to go about it, but
I wish I had more hands so I could give it 4 thumbs down. Like
I got 2, so my two plus your 2 equals 4 because that was the perfect non-answer, like my boy Rob D says, man. Like,
He had the smirk too. Like the smirk is what makes it. Like that's kind of Leo. Like he's cornball Duval. Like he's kind of a cornball, but like, hey, I don't mind this. Like I like them being kind of bitter about it. Like, come on, man. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
I think Robert Saleh gonna beat the shiznit. That's my new word. That's from the '90s Snoop Dogg album. Gonna beat the shiznit out of this offense. I really do. I really got a funny feeling that Robert Saleh feels some type of way about Jacksonville. That's number 1. Was kind of supposed to be the head coach there. We ain't gonna go into that. Just saying. And I really think Robert Saleh is going to do the Vol out of the Duval. Like, you know what I mean? I just got a funny feeling. I can't wait to hear this game plan, man. I do my damn hardest, John, to stay away from addressing the game plan. And, you know, I talk about the positives, the pluses, the minuses, and things like that throughout the week, but it is no way in comparison to what I know I'm going to get here. Like when you speak, I can fall back, just get the lesson, and just be like, yeah, like I'm going to practice this in Madden and see if this shit work, like type of game plan. So, John, you really do your due diligence here. I got to give you a round of applause, bro. Like I look forward to these every single freaking week. You know what I'm saying? Roster moves. The Niners activated Robert Beal off the practice squad. He's on the active roster. They signed defensive end William Bradley King and Jalen Mahoney to the practice squad, and they released DB Derek Canteen. Any surprises here, John? Why Robert Beal Jr., John, over the Travis Gibson, over the new guy, William Bradley King, who was here during the preseason, and they released?
I think it always goes back to the number one thing, the 49ers defense, and really the team in general, stop the run. Robert Beal Jr. is a run-stuffing defensive end that can play special teams. So, like, that is paramount. They feel like if we can stop the run, especially if you look at the Jaguars' offense with what they're better at, they're a quality running offense. That's the one thing that has been consistent about their game plan. If you shut that down and force Trevor Lawrence to throw the ball 40 times, it could get really ugly really quick.
Real quick. Like 0 to 100 real quick. Jalen Mahoney, I'm glad that he's back. I really saw a lot of upside from the kid. Who in the DB area of the Niners do you feel like may not be a go for this week? Or do you think Renardo Green neck injury is not as serious as you think?
Yeah, I think this is just, an extra dime package that you can do, extra special teams that you can do. And so I was a little shocked by it, to be honest with you. I love Jalen Mahoney. I've been really big on this kid for a while. He's small, but he always gets the damn job done. We talk about consistency. He doesn't have the ceiling on the elite talent, speed, size, whatever, but he's just always where he's supposed to be. And so, he was practice squad player of the week several times last year. And so he gets to kind of help with that. And until Malik Mustafa comes back, gives you just a little bit of depth there.
I love it. John is a legend, ladies and gentlemen. That's dope. I'm doing a show with a mother freaking legend. John, can you give me the "We're just ordinary people"?
Oh, dude.
Can you just try
do that right now, I'm gonna no. I know my limitations, and it passed that long ago. You are the talent. I could go get the guitar. I could strum it out for you.
So he wants to know: do you guys miss Nick Sorensen?
I miss Nick Sorensen like all those missed tackles in 2024. That's how I miss him.
I miss Nick Sorensen like all of Jake Moody's missed kicks. Oh, we dropping bombs, man.
Hey, shout out to Jair Brown, who can tackle again. Like, who would have guessed?
I never had
out there making plays.
I never thought he had an issue tackling if he did it with the proper technique. His issue was tackling with his head down.
Yeah,
and I just don't know how you could tackle with your. How do you tackle with your head down? Like
can't do it.
You know, you're looking at the ground.
See what you hit. So simple.
It's fundamentals, bro.
Yep.
It's fundamental. I'm blaming that on Sorensen.
Yep.
I'm blaming that on Sorensen. I'm here for the smoke. All right. Let's get to some news by the Niners. DeMarcus Robinson activated. Click, click, boom. Wide receiver on the active roster, served his suspension. Nick Bosa, unfortunately, we already know the situation. We're praying for successful surgery and speedy recovery for him. John, just your take on Nick Bosa. They talk about this being like the second time they actually operated on this particular knee, and this is his third ACL injury. Are you any way concerned about Nick Bosa returning to Nick Bosa? I mean, I'm just curious to know. I mean, the last time he had an ACL, he was player of the year.
Yeah, not too much. He's still young. He's 27. You've got him under contract for several more years. Whenever he's out there, your defense is different. So the timing of this injury sucks, but the timing will say for 2026, he should be good to go. So that is the positive thing. So it's not going to be like the Brandon Ayuk situation. It's not near as difficult or as scary as the Brandon Ayuk situation where you have all three main ligaments torn. This is a but it has happened before, so that is a little bit of a concern. But no, my worry meter is probably like a 2.5. I think he'll be just fine.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, bro. Today's technology is not yesterday's technology, and Nick Bosa has a different mindset than most players in the league. Robert Saleh said no one came in more prepared than Nick Bosa this year as far as his training, his dieting, and everything. He said that Nick Bosa was on the trajectory of having a better year than his defensive player of the year, and he was on that trajectory of playing like defensive player of the year this year. And so I trust what Saleh says. We all know how hard Nick Bosa works away from home, and we just seeing him here was a different sign, right? Like he was here during training, like you know, he trained here. That's a difference.
One of my favorite quotes ever. They're like, how is it different this year, you know, being at training camp? And he's like, well, it's actually easier. My workouts are a lot harder than what they put us through here, so it's kind of a little bit of a break for me. Like, but that's just who Eeyore is, you know what I mean? Like, he's a hardworking mamma jamma. And, you know, I want him to get his surgery done and get back to the 49ers so he can be in those meeting rooms. I want him in those meeting rooms. But, yeah, not overly concerned long-term with Nick Bosa.
Yeah, Miss Cynthia says Bosa has a different mindset, different resources. I agree 1,000% with her. He just trains differently. Activated wide receiver DeMarcus Robinson. I'm expecting him to go because I don't understand the Juwan Jennings situation. So it sounds like Jennings is probably not going to go. 2 DMPs, probably a third one on today.
He ain't hitting any of his incentives, man. This was the time you needed him.
Damn.
He has completely, through not practicing, you know, not ready week 1, week 2, kind of ready, still had a couple drops, but looked like himself. And then the injury, like, I hate the way it's played out for him. He has lost so much money in this past 2 months by the choices he and his agent made. You want to see people get paid, and I love Juwan Jennings. That did not play out the way that he wanted to. And once the wide receivers start getting back, I don't know if he's going to have any of those super target-heavy games anymore. If Ricky Pearsall, DeMarcus Robinson, George Kittle, those guys start coming back, now is the time to show Juwan Jennings in the NFL what 15 can do.
Yeah,
It's not there, and I hate it, man, because I want him to get paid. I love that dude. He's put everything on the line, and just I really think some bad choices were made by him and his agency, and the injuries just suck. They just suck because this should be the time where he puts his stamp on the NFL and makes all that money.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with the bad choices because he was able to get some more, I guess, guaranteed money this year. Then
look at Colton McKivitz, man. Like, you show up and you practice, the 49ers pay you. You show up and you practice, they pay you.
And I agree with that. I just think for Juwan, it's just different circumstances for him. It's unfortunate that his body.
That's the best way to put it. Unfortunate.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate, you know. And as far as the practice report from yesterday, no Juwan Jennings, no Jordan Watkins, no CJ West. So I'm thinking all of these guys are going to be scratches come Sunday's game.
Yeah, maybe call up Evan Anderson. Maybe call up Sebastian Valdez. But again, if you want to stop the run, you call up Evan Anderson
for sure.
I think he's more consistent. But I wouldn't be mad if Sebastian Valdez got some snaps. But CJ West been getting anywhere between 7 to kind of 20 snaps a week. You need more defensive tackle play. That's what's weird with Bosa out.
Yeah,
it affects the defensive tackle room almost as much as the defensive end.
100%, because as you blow your nose, Mykel Williams was lined up inside. And so him and Bosa on the same side was a dominant force. So now if Mykel Williams goes to Bosa's side as that right defensive end, now all of a sudden, who is going to be that interior guy? Now, I did see some of that on film where you had Yetur Gross-Matos, but he doesn't play a significant amount of snaps either because he's injured and battling back from his injury.
Kyle said he ain't going to practice any Wednesday pretty much all year.
You know what I said to that? I said I'm okay with that as long as his pressure rate continues to be high. Now I'm concerned that it might drop a little bit because how are they going to use him if they have to use him more? Like, does it go down? Like, you know what I mean? Because he's more fresh as a rotative piece. Or do they just find a way to bump up like the reps for Alfred Collins? Is it time, John? Like, that's my question. Like, you know him better than the Niners know him. So, like, is it time? I mean, on first and second down, teams are 90% probably going to try to run, especially on that first down. Is it time to put Alfred Collins out there? He gets push. He can be a force, draw doubles. Like, is it time to see Alfred and kick off and put these rookies out there? Alfred and Jordan Elliott should be pretty good at stopping the run. Yay?
I agree. I think he's way more consistent than Kalia Davis. Kalia Davis had a good game, but he still had those 3 to 4 horrible snaps, like the biggest explosive plays all happen when Kalia Davis are out there and he gets blown out of his gap. He's nowhere where he needs to be. A lot of positive plays, but there are some negative plays there too. Now, Alfred Collins, way more consistent. He stays in his gap like all the time. Now, was it a great Alfred Collins game? No. But man, you look at the goal line stop, the tackle for loss on the goal line, that was all Alfred Collins. Like, he's still showing he had 31 snaps. I think that it slowly starts to grow. I could see him 30 to 35 snaps this week. So I would be starting Alfred Collins and Jordan Elliott. I think those should be the 2 starting tackles. We
share the same mind. I mean, if you're watching it, if your goal is to stop the run in this game, like that's the way you got to go. And I think if you bring up Evan Anderson, who has experience, right? We're not talking about Sebastian Valdez, inexperience, starting real games, things like that. This might not be the game for him if you're looking to, like you said, plug that middle. So Evan Anderson should get that call up. And, you know, he's also, which would you call it, a guy that can generate pressure as well. So, like, you're getting a 2-for-1 out of him. His goal is to gap, penetrate, take up those offensive linemen so these linebackers can play downhill, as well as he can still penetrate the offensive line and get those tackles for losses or, you know, pressures on quarterbacks. I'm surprised he didn't make the roster. Well, I can't remember how it went. Did he make the roster or not make the roster?
Now, they brought up Jordan, the healthy scratch. That's another one. Jordan Jefferson.
Oh, right? Jordan Jefferson, former Jaguar, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see what. Maybe this will be the week he plays. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. He's still on the active roster, too. Is there like a rule because they traded for him that he has to be on the active roster, or they could have bumped him down?
You'd have to cut. So, like, if you bump him down, you've got to waive him. He's got to clear waivers because he's not a vested vet. And then you'd have to sign him to the practice squad. So, I think they're just going to, you know, if CJ West is out, I think he's the easy answer. But you also probably could call one up to an Evan Anderson or Sebastian Valdez. But Jordan Jefferson should get first crack at it.
I like it, man. 49ers, there's some rumors going on, John. Some trade stuff, the Trey Hendrickson. John interested in Trey Hendrickson. I know I saw your takes. I don't disagree with your takes. It doesn't make sense for the Bengals to do. I get it. It doesn't. I'm not saying right now, but come week 8, come week 9, trade deadlines around. If the situation is different for the Cincinnati Bengals, they're no longer a winning team. What would it cost to get this guy?
I think you're talking minimum a third, maybe more. But the fact that he's old, the fact that you are going to carry some of the salary cap with him, the salary cap hit. But again, the Bengals have to be out of the conversation, right? So they have to be a selling team, which with that owner, he's one of the most difficult owners in the NFL. A definition of cheapskate whenever it comes to like how they handle players. And he looked bad this offseason with, the Shamar Stewart, with Trey Hendrickson. So can Mike Brown swallow his pride and go out there and do something to help the team out in the future? We'll see. But I would offer a third. It's a 1-year rental. Obviously, you're not going to be able to pay him long term. But then if he signs elsewhere, you get that cap thing. And so that's what you do with Chase Young. You give a 3rd round pick. He signs elsewhere. You get a 4th round compensation pick back the year after. It's the way the 49ers build. I'm open to it.
So it's a possibility.
It is, but they have to be in sell mode right now. The Bengals.
No, that's what I mean.
Right?
That's what I mean. Like I said, if they don't have a winning record, and even if they got to be in sell mode. Totally understand that. You're saying that that's just not their MO. I'm confused about his contract, and that's what I needed to understand, because I thought he renegotiated his deal. He took less money to become a free agent next year, and it's not a lot this year that the Niners will have to pick up. So
it's a big per game roster bonus type situation. So the more weeks you wait, the cheaper it's going to be. And with the insurance that they got on the Nick Bosa deal, you got about $6 million back. Yeah, 6 and change. So like that could be a wash. It really could. I think that there's better fits out there. Personally, I'd love Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah,
but like you're gonna have to pay a premium to get him. It might cost a 3rd and a 4 or something like that.
So you think a 3rd is premium? Because it's a top 100 pick. Yeah, if it was a 4th, you'd be more okay.
Because you're just renting them for half of a season, so you give up a 3rd round pick,
premium pick, top 100 pick.
And you got to remember, like Fred Warner was a 3rd round pick, so like you're giving up a 3rd round pick for a guy to play 10 games.
No, I understand.
Like it's so, but with the compensation, getting that back, that kind of helps it out a little bit.
But I also feel like the Niners should not go this route if the defense continues to play or progress at least at a medium to high level. So by week 8, week 9, if the defense, the pressures are up, they get a few sacks, they're still playing, they're holding teams to 13 to 16 points or less. Why? You don't have to do this. Whoever you drafted is ready.
The main reason why is the depth. That's my biggest concern is like, let's say another defensive end goes down after the trade deadline. What do you do? The Niners did not bolster depth on this roster at all during free agency. They went young, everywhere, all the way across the board. You don't have depth. So now that you've lost Bosa, if you lose another veteran guy, man, then you're kind of in trouble there. So that's the biggest reason why I do think the Niners will acquire a defensive end. I'm not sure it's going to be the huge blockbuster trade that most fans want it to be. And I think the 2 most likely teams are going to be the Miami Dolphins and the New York Giants. Those are the 2 teams that I think are going to be sellers. I think they're almost already sellers. I think they're going to have coaching changes, and I think they're going to have general manager changes. And I think those are the teams that you're going to be able to kind of take guys away from.
So let's talk about just very briefly. I'll just mention those players, and then I'm going to ask you, who would you want the most? Bradley Chubb from the Miami Dolphins or Kayvon Thibodeau from the New York Giants?
I'd prefer Kayvon Thibodeau.
Okay.
He's got a younger, cheaper, right? He's younger. He's a little bit of a weirdo. He's got some.
Explain, please. I don't know.
Very unique and very opinionated. So then you have to get into the question of, okay, locker room fit and all those things. He's a different type of cat.
Okay,
to be very not in a bad way. He's not like a. I don't think he falls into like bad character, but I'm just saying
he's weird.
He's very different.
I never knew that.
Yeah, he's fun. He's a fun interview, but it's just different. I think Bradley Chubb's the better player, but I would be happy with either one of those guys. And I care more about the value that you're getting. Like, I don't want to overpay. I want to give a 4th or a 5th on a 1-year rental, then they go sign elsewhere afterwards. That's what I want. So
you give up a 5th for a Kayvon Thibodeau. He signs elsewhere. You get back a 6th.
Yeah, I think, again, Kayvon Thibodeau, he's going to cost. He's young.
That's what I'm saying. But you're not spending a premium, though.
Correct. But like what I'm saying, here's what I'm saying. Like, I'm pulling up their depth chart right now. Like, if I look at the Giants, right? Yeah. And I'm talking about their defensive ends, like, I'm not saying we're going after their top guys.
Correct.
Like, I'm saying give me a Victor Dimukeji. Like, I'm fine with some of those guys, because
you're building the depth.
Rotational guys. Like, I'd be cool with that.
Yeah, like your concern is depth, right? Like your
Correct.
concern is, all right, if this next man up goes down, I need to make sure I have valued quality depth. So you're not even thinking about the Kayvon Thibodeaux. You're thinking
Not
about
too much.
got you.
Not
And I
too
don't
much.
even think I know he was a premier pick for them, but I don't is he really that top of a dude like for the Giants? I feel like they're just they're ready to move on from him and I don't get why.
Because they went on Abdul Carter. They paid Brian Burns top of the
Top
top
of the
money. And so those are your two guys. So Kayvon Thibodeaux, like he's not going to get a second contract there. So I understand that. I'm not sure how great of a fit he is against the run, but he's a pass rushing savant. I mean, it hasn't translated as great in the NFL, but he's damn good.
Yeah, Terradome says Thibodeaux is not a fit. Curious to know how you feel about that.
I would take him. I mean, he fits as far as the pass rushing go, but you use him a little bit like you use Bryce Huff in the fact that
I was going to
he's
ask
not
you
going
that.
to be a starter probably. Like you're going to put him out there as a pass rushing kind of whatever, and then whatever you get in the run is just a little bit extra. But yeah, I don't think that he fits. But then you look at like a guy like Matthew Judon. That makes sense for Miami for me. Like that
opposed
is somebody
to a Bradley Chubb.
yeah, super cheap, man.
Because he just signed. Did he sign a 1-year deal?
Yeah, I think he did a 1-year deal. Jalen Phillips, he's a perfect fit.
Yeah, but he can't stay healthy. So I'm not. I'm not going for players that I got. We already struggling in the health category, so I can't go for. I love him. I mean, he's the guy that injured Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay,
he's one of my favorite. Yeah, he's awesome.
He was out of Miami. Then I think he played for Miami and a California team. Can't remember which one it was.
UCLA. He was at
UCLA. Right. But his story was amazing.
He retired in college. You know what I mean? Like
he had that car accident. It was crazy.
From the Redlands, amazing story, amazing dude. But yeah, you're right. Injuries are a major concern with him.
But I get you want to. I like your take. I like your theory. Don't go after the ticket guy. Go after their depth. And so you could just replenish and have better quality depth. That makes perfect sense.
It doesn't get the views. It doesn't get the takes. And I know I should put out there 49ers and a 4th-round pick for Trey Hendrickson, and I don't get all the clicks and all the views. But, like, that's just not honest with what I see the 49ers. Look what they've done all offseason. Have they ever gone after any big-ticket anything? Now, it might be different if you're 5-2 at the break or something, but – again, I don't think it's an honest approach to how they've built this free agency.
They went after the Chase Young, so they will go after a name.
But he was cheap. Chase Young was way cheaper than Trey Hendrickson will be because he was
I'm not talking about Trey. I'm talking about the Kayvon Thibodeaux and those guys. So I feel like that is their tier. Like they showed us that sign. You know what I'm saying? I forgot how much Trey Young cost as far as the premium, but we did get a comp pick back for him, right?
Yeah, for Chase Young, we did. We got a 4th.
Got the 4th.
Gave up the 3rd, and we got
gave up the 3rd. Okay, so that to me, that is the Niners. Like that's what the Niners will do. Chase Young came in here, had dead legs, couldn't really produce much. Was tired. You look at a player, he played like every snap for a team he was on. Didn't get a week off. Didn't get the break. Didn't get the bye week. And he just came in. He was just dead. And then he finally picked up a little bit in the playoffs, but he really wasn't worth the 3rd-round pick, and now he's unhealthy. It's so crazy. Game preview. Let's get to it, baby. All right. You got the Niners. They are favored by 3.5 points here at home versus the Jags. I probably got the wrong forecast as far as the sunny because I ain't changed that in 3 weeks. But the game does kick off at 4:05 p.m. Eastern time. Could somebody give me the correct weather? I thought I had it, and I didn't, and that's my dumbass fault. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a little slow sometimes. But anyway, I'm expecting the weather to be great. It's California. It's Cali. I'll leave it at that. Somebody asked in the chat, did I do my Madden? Yep, it's up there. Go watch it. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, so John, it's game preview time. And I'm excited about the game plan that you have. Like what are your takes? What are your thoughts? Like, where are we going with this? Where do you want to start?
Well, let's start with the Jags' strength. Okay. The Jags' defense is top 5 in almost every single metric against the run, against the pass. One of the best causing turnover teams. The defense is stout. Eric Armstead, the blueprint. Don't sell his T-shirts. We all know about that guy. And nobody got my inside joke on the t-shirt.
I was clicking buttons. My bad.
But their defense is legit. And so, like, again, the game plan for the 49ers offense, I think it's going to kind of be rinse and repeat. It's going to be ugly. Like, I do not see this as a week where the Niners go out there and rush for 150 yards. I don't even see 30-plus rush attempts. Like, you're not built to run into this with your interior offensive line. And people could try to gaslight me into whatever the hell they want to with, Jake Brendel and, the guards. The interior offensive line for the 49ers is horrible against run blocking. They're terrible run blocking. Both guards, whether that was Ben Barch and Connor Colby, Dominique Puni is not playing the level he was last year.
I agree. Not in the run blocking.
And Jake Brendel he can pass protect pretty well. But run blocking and why you are not you're the only team in the NFL without a rushing touchdown, it's Jake Brendel. That's the answer.
Can I ask you a question about Jake?
Yes.
I was watching the film, and I'm saying to myself, I know he's getting graded high because he must be a hell of a pass blocker. But when it comes to blocking in the run game, I don't care if it's running or screens, he is the most ass player I ever seen in my entire life. I did love the fact that he was sprinting down the football field on that 20-yard gain.
Incredible.
How did he miss the guy for Christian McCaffrey to make the right? How? I'm just asking you how I'm yelling at you because I don't understand if you got one job and one guy.
He went in between two dudes and didn't touch either one of them. Pause. Didn't touch either one of them. But he's there. He's probably one of the most athletic centers in the NFL. And you see that.
How he miss?
Yeah, he missed everybody. He didn't touch anybody.
And I say poor Christian because Christian had to do a double jump cut to the right opposed to the one cut to the out of bounds to the sideline, to where he could have went out of bounds, opposed to running into 3-4 guys to take that bigger the bigger tackle. So it's just like, bro, man, this is why I gave Kyle Shanahan more credit. Kyle's plays literally are dialed up to be home run plays. And you can say that about any coach. But I really see it when I watch the film. Like, damn, that guy just missed the block. Like, damn.
And the reason why, like, EPA and PFF nerds and whatever else, like,
I don't understand EPA, so you got to school me.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, thank you.
It's people that have never coached or whatever. And EPA is not a negative thing, but it's all you look at. Here's the thing with Jake Brendel. He blocks great for 1 second. He gets to where he's supposed to go all the time, but he has no play strength and just gets thrown aside, and his guy makes the tackle more plays than not. And so, yeah, you can tell me how he's the third best center or whatever else. You don't watch the game tape. You have no clue what they're grading. Yes, he gets there. And if I show you a snapshot a second after the play, Jake Brendel looks like an all-pro, but then he's on the ground half a count later. Almost knocked over my monitor over here. But, yeah, like, anyway. So, all this to say this, Wayne. Yeah, thank you, Ty. I love Ty. He's one of the best. I can't wait to see you, man. EPA is made up. That's all you need to know. It's important, but
it is, but I don't even. What the does it even stand for? Evaluated performance, athletic ability. I don't know. Ability.
Yeah, expected points added. Right.
I was way off. I was way off.
And like, I'm sorry, man. And like, I get small ball and I get money ball and Billy Bean and all that. I get it. At some point, you got to be a tough mother effer and quit quitting. And Jake Brendel quits freaking every other play that he's a part of. It turns around and just watches Christian McCaffrey or the quarterback get hit by his guy, and he just quits.
Yeah, I mean, Christian
it ain't going to change, though. So, like, let me pump the brakes.
Yep.
What I'm saying is the run game is not going to be established like we're used to in the Kyle Shanahan regime, and we haven't seen that so far in 2025.
Starts with the center.
And I don't think it's going to be established. They have the defense to shut down the run. It's going to be tough. And I think it's going to be a heavy pass game again. I think the idea of getting DeMarcus Robinson back helps tremendously because now you don't just have Ricky Pearsall and you don't just have Christian McCaffrey. Now you can still sprinkle in some Kendrick Bourne, but Demarcus Robinson was awesome in training camp and preseason.
Oh, preseason, he was the player. He was the guy. Preseason, my 2 players of the preseason, DeMarcus Robinson on offense and Travis Gibson on defense. When they signed Travis Gibson, I was like, this is what we need.
And I think eventually he's going to get some snaps. I don't think Etura is going to hold up, the whole, and I think he'll come in and play that role. But it's going to take time for Travis. But yeah, he's the pass rush.
He's a pass rush guy.
Specialist. That's what he's going to do. And if something happens to Bryce Young, then that's where he's going to be called up in that role. But this is going to be an ugly pass-heavy game. I think the run game is going to continue to look the way that it has for the 49ers. Ugh. But if you don't turn the ball over and play into their hands, you're going to be okay. So throw the ball. Do your empty sets this week. I don't mind that. I don't mind that this week.
I love you because sometimes I don't know if I go off tangent when I'm by myself because it's myself. And so I do my keys to victory early. Like right after we play, I'm ready to do keys to victory for the next week, right? I'm ready to dive into it. You know what I'm saying? And I did my keys to victory. And, I got it pulled up right here. It's going to come out on Saturday for WebZone. That's when they release it, And so my number 2 key to victory.
Love your written stuff, by the way.
I appreciate
I don't say that enough. It's well done, my friend.
Was an efficient passing attack. Basically, in John's language, throw the damn ball, right? And it's not about taking your shots deep down the football field. It's about putting the ball where it needs to be to efficiently move the chains. The explosive plays will be there, but they're going to force us to throw the ball. And everything John said is 100% on point. If you've been watching the Niners, it's not about how they stack the box. It's about how they kind of play the Niners against the run. Think about how many negative runs we had on first down. Negative. It's like they know the play, and then now when you're negative on second down, it's like 2nd and 14, 2nd and 16. It just changes up the whole Kyle Shanahan offense. It breaks up the rhythm. So the Niners need to create an extension, in my opinion, of the run game, whether it's the quick throws, those shallow crossing routes, screen games.
They ran one screen last week. It got like 20
yards. And how I've been asking for screens since 1985. Like, I miss it. And I know Kittle's not here. I miss the screens. Like, they will work. And I will credit Jake Brindle on playing the screen right. Brindle and Pooney, man, they were down the field. I'm like, yeah. And Trent Williams, I know Trent's not having the best of the best years. And I do like that Trent. No one peeped that Trent took accountability 3 times in that presser where he said, I ain't do nothing on that play. That's not because of me, blah, 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 whatever. He said that when it was Robin Big and they were speaking. John, I don't know if you heard that. But he took accountability. He said, I didn't really have anything to do to play. And I wanted to tell Trent, if you're watching, wrong, because you protected Mac because that month was coming and you were able to keep him off of Mac so that he can make the screen throw. So his job was definitely executed to perfection. Mac threw the perfect screen throw. Christian caught it. Everything worked perfectly except for Brindle missing that block at the end. But he was there. So I wanted to credit. Maybe do you expect more screen plays, man?
Can't have less. I mean, you can't go fewer. So
out of the wide receivers that you feel playing, who's the screen guy?
Man, if Sky Moore is going to get the amount of snaps that he's getting, I'm not saying he needs to be a target monster or anything, but you look at the snaps, okay, Ricky Pearsall had 63 snaps, Kendrick Bourne 47. You're not throwing Kendrick Bourne screens. Sky Moore had 34
quick slants,
snaps.
but not screens.
Yeah, Sky Moore, if he's going to be out there for 34 snaps, man, just get the ball in his hands real quick.
Can I ask you, does Sky Moore remind you of the role? Can he play the role that was supposed to be for Ray McLeod? Or is that different? Are they different?
He's not near as fast.
Really?
Ray has the speed.
I didn't. Okay.
I want to look at what Sky Moore's 40 was, and it's going to probably bother me. Let me see here, because he has 2 Ys. I can never find them. Out of Western Michigan. What did he run? He ran a 4.41. I mean, he's got a 10-yard
He's got the
burst.
speed, but the
1.46 is off the charts, awesome. But like, he just looks slow.
But we're seeing him look slow on return. I don't know if it's because of the new kick off stuff. Like, they look slow. So maybe in that.
Well, Isaac Guerrero is slow, but
that's
Sky
weird
Moore,
because
yeah.
Guerrero ran a 4.3.
Oh yeah, no, fast. Yeah, but he can't. He ran into his own guy again. His one return, he ran straight into his own guy.
Does that make him slow or too fast?
No, he is slow because he's trying to think.
So his processing is slow, but his speed isn't slow.
He's got Trey Lance, Pentium 3 processor built in up there. It's not working.
Damn, I ain't had that in decades.
Sorry, I should have said that.
No, it's cool. No, it's cool.
Bad.
I mean, I'm on the Mac A4 or 5 chip, whatever the chip they on. That's what I need to be on. It's super fast, but nah, I get it.
It's that. So yeah, I'm just saying,
he's got to let the game slow down. Like,
give a couple of these kind of just simple, quick screen, jet sweep. You can do some of that stuff, but every team's playing that 5-man odd front against the Niners to the weak side. So like that takes away the jet sweep because they have that unblocked defender just sitting out there in that gap. But I want Sky Moore to get a couple touches. That's all I'm saying. Like, let's do some change up. Elongate the running game. Get a screen. Get a jet sweep. Get an end around. Get some misdirection. Like, I'd be cool with that.
Yeah. And for a lot of people that are saying that Guerrero's vision isn't great, you're 100% correct. He just needs the snaps. That's why I thought that the trade for Brian Robinson is hurting Guerrero. And it's going to be almost impossible for Guerrero to see the field as a running back. And I'm heavy on these guys need reps. And if they're not getting the reps, he can't work on the vision. He can't get the timing of the offense. Now, we can't shit on Guerrero because he saved quarterbacks time after time by catching their passes. So that part of his game is great. I think the part of the game that's not great, and we've seen this with all of the running backs not named Christian McCaffrey. They don't allow the play to develop. And they're just quickly trying to hit a hole quickly. We see with Brian Robinson. He's just quickly trying to. He had the most explosive run last week for 19 yards once he realized that
snaps.
Yeah, I got to let the play develop. Like, you know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. Like, it is what it is. I don't see him developing this year because of the trade for Brian Robinson. And so he's just going to have to figure out a way to work his way onto the football field and make the opportunities, greater.
Jordan James will eventually be the running back 3. Jordan James is going to pass him eventually, in my opinion.
Wow. Yeah, it makes sense. Better vision, better burst, more of a running back. Jordan James is a running back.
He is.
Isaac Guerrero was a wide receiver converted into running back.
Correct.
Got you. Defensively,
this is where the Niners win the game. This is the best matchups all the way across the board. Trevor Lawrence is not a good quarterback. Now, I get he was number 1 pick and probably one of the worst quarterback classes of all time, obviously. Back-to-back Trey Lance references. We took Trey Lance 3. Mac Jones, went later. But he has been very inconsistent. He's the number 1 4 years in a row. Trevor Lawrence has the highest percentage target to his first read. If it's open and that first read's there, Trevor Lawrence is good. If he has to get off that first read, that's where everything goes horribly wrong for them.
Okay.
Very, very bad for them. And you look at their wide receivers, like Brian Thomas is ranked 96th out of 106 wide receivers.
It's not a good year for
Travis Hunter, 85th. You look at Diami Brown, 61st. Their wide receivers have been terrible.
He's been limited in practice, too, so he's dealing with injuries, Diami Brown. So
Parker Washington, I think, is better, actually.
That's the question mark. That's the guy you probably want to zone in on this week.
And so, like, I just think you stop this run. This offense is bad. They're going to give you turnover opportunities. I know the 49ers don't have any interceptions yet, but I just think that this is a very bad offense. They lead the NFL in pre-snap penalties. They're trying to do way too much with this new system. The offensive line is not good. There's just so much about this team offensively where I'm just like, dude, this is not a good unit. It's not. Brian Thomas Jr. is great, but he's a 7-on-7 wide receiver. If you hit that dude, or if he thinks he's going to get hit, he's dropping the ball. But if he gets the ball at open space, he can score a 70-yard touchdown on any play. Hopefully you limit those. This is not a good offense. It's a very bad offense, in fact.
I would say that the Niners defense hasn't given up an explosive play for a touchdown this year. They gave up an explosive play in the air last week for about 29 yards, but it was more of a short catch and run after the catch, right? So, yeah, missed tackles and all that kind of crap. So the Niners have limited the explosive plays in the air mainly because of their guys like Diamador Lenore, who I think will play the physical. I saw a lot of press coverage where he's up on the line of scrimmage on the film jamming the wide receivers. Probably why Marvin Harrison didn't have such a great game. They had to switch his role up, last week and try to mismatch him, put him on a linebacker, get him on Fred Warner, and then he has the big drop in the game, But my point is Brian Thomas Jr. is a different wide receiver. I think you got to jam him up. You got to play physical against him. You got to throw him off his game. He is their explosive playmaker. Travis Hunter is still unknown offensively. You don't really know. They're going to use him in the slot for the majority of the game. My question mark on their offense is, what do you do about Brenton Strange?
He's their most consistent player.
Yeah, and the Niners struggle with athletic tight ends.
But, I mean, you look at...
The touchdowns have come from tight ends.
The touchdowns have come from tight ends. D. Winters got beat on an out route from Trey McBride, and Marquis Siegel's getting better and closer. But going from Trey McBride to Brenton Strange is going to be a nice... Brenton Strange, great. I'm not saying he's a bad tie. I think he's their most consistent offensive player, but nobody's confusing him with Trey McBride.
Absolutely
right?
not. But I think you game plan for McBride. I think my issue is don't forget about Brenton Strange, because if you don't have some type of a plan for him, not to cut you off, he'll be that guy. You know what I mean? And I don't want him getting lost in space or a check down and he end up like a TJ Hawkinson, Minnesota Vikings killing the Niners underneath type of guy. That's what I mean.
It could be that. Now, the good news is Robert Saleh, I think he did 6-man pressure twice all of last game.
Mm-hmm.
You're not doing those Steve Wilkes all-out blitzes where...
Good point.
You know what I mean? So you're mitigating
good point.
The busted coverage versus the blitz.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, dude, Strange is awesome. He's great. Travis Etienne, awesome.
Awesome, yeah.
You limit those two guys,
yeah,
you're going to be okay. And you do all the explosive plays. That's the key to the game.
That's the key to the game. Especially this week. That's the key to the game. It's the key to the game. You got take away Travis Etienne, number one, stop the run, obviously. You got to find a way to stop the run. The thing is, they run the ball with explosiveness. They got two explosive running backs. I like Bayshell too, and he's the faster running back. Etienne is probably their more skilled running back, a more experienced running back.
He's been in a non-contact jersey all week.
Well, they got LaQuint Allen. He's new, young, rookie, so we don't know how he's going to play. So they got two young rookie running backs. Etienne is the guy. Zero in on him. Can't miss tackles on him. Niners had 11 missed tackles last week, and I'm not feeling the miss. He will make you miss in open space. Etienne is kind of more of an elusive guy. Didn't have a good game last week, but had a great game the week before. And if you put Etienne in perspective, he's the number 3 leading rusher in the NFL, 270 yards on the ground. So you got to figure that out. And they can utilize him in the pass game too. They got rid of Tank Bigsby, which I thought was an idiotic move, but they're high on Bichelle Tootin. So it is what it is. So defensively, I think the game plan is what you said it is. It just has to be that, My question is, do you rush 4 and play coverage and force this guy? Can your 4 men up front find a way to generate enough pressure to force him to throw mistake football? Trevor Lawrence has 4 interceptions in the NFL. He's tied for second most. Leave it at that. Jake Browning from the Bengals is at 5, and he's tied for second with 4. He makes mistakes. He's not great at seeing what's going on the football field. He's a one-read guy. Can the Niners rattle him up a little bit just by rushing 4? Because that's the key for me.
My favorite thing about everything the Niners are doing defensively is, man, it's disguised so well.
Okay.
It's pretty hard to get some of these pre-snap reads where, you're very confident. Okay, this is a cover 3. This is a cover 6. This is a quarters. And so they're flipping the script a little bit there. It's much more complex than any other 49ers defense I've seen, really in any time period since Kyle Shanahan's been here. So I don't know if you get the pressure with 4. I do want to see a lot of simulated pressures where it looks like you're blitzing and people
Then they
bail
drop
out.
off in the coverage. Yeah.
I want to see that, and I want to see 5-man pressures where you do blitz a nickel, where you do blitz a safety. I want the nickels and safeties blitzed so that you have your corners out there. So that's what I want to see in that NASCAR package. It's been working so far. So let's keep it rolling, man.
Let's keep it rolling. John, do you think the 49ers get their first interception this week? All right, which one do you think happens? How about that? The Niners get their first interception or they get their first rushing touchdown?
Interception is more likely. Yeah, I think the 49ers defense
double damn.
Sorry, man. This defense and that O-line, like that I'm not saying it won't happen because it could happen, but I think the interception is more likely. I really, really do.
Damn. I wasn't expecting that.
What the hell is that shit?
I just feel like the Niners, if they get down to the 1-yard line, are they passing or running that ball in the goal line?
I'm throwing the ball.
No quarterback sneak?
Man, I don't know. Not with the Brock Purdy with the messed up shoulder and a messed up toe. And
man, this is football.
I know. Kyle Juszczyk, I want that tight end on an outright. Give me Jake Tonjes. I want to see though. Like,
I just feel like so much could go wrong
in the interior offensive line against this defense front. None.
I just feel like so much could go wrong at the 1-yard line on a throw. If the bootleg, especially if they know I feel like teams know that the Niners aren't gonna run it because they suck, and so they're gonna play that and play it so well and. It's just going to be busted. So they got to figure out how to run the ball. I mean, you're on the 1-yard line. I'm not saying give it to Kyle Juszczyk. Put Jake Tonjes in the back and then put Kyle Juszczyk behind them or Christian McCaffrey. They could get 1 yard, right?
I'd like to think so.
Man, it's going to be crazy.
I think so.
All right, John, let's get your score predictions for this game, man. Love the takes. John, give John a round of applause. I got his stuff ticking at the bottom of the screen. Okay, make sure you guys follow him.
They're still clapping. Look at those guys.
Yeah,
thank you guys.
49ers Rush. Make sure you guys go there. The Rush road trips will be back up in week 5. John, talk about that real quick before you give your score prediction. Tampa Bay.
Yeah, man, Tampa Bay, we're going to be partying on Clearwater Beach the day before, and then we got a tailgate right across you'll see the giant pirate ship. That's where we're going to be at. We're taking over Tampa Bay, going to have a good time. New York, Wayne's going to be there. It's going to be great. Houston, Frank Gore's going to be there, and Wayne's going to be there. So you go into any road trips this year, come party with us. Check it out, 49ersrushroadtrip.com. Just click there. We got everything.
Over and under, Frank Gore and I get into...
Oh, no.
Another.
We were in Jacksonville. It was Jacksonville, wasn't it?
Nah, wherever we went to the steakhouse. I can't remember.
I think it was Jacksonville.
That was where Jacksonville. No? I don't remember going to the steakhouse in Jacksonville.
I just remember we're watching. Frank Gore finishes signing all the autographs, and Miami, Florida State are playing. And he's like, dude, do you guys care if I stay here and just peep the game? I was like, hell yes, Frank Gore. So we're watching the game. We're doing shots. We're hanging out. All of a sudden, I hear Wayne screaming at the top of his lungs, the most East Coast thing I've ever heard in my life. I look up, and it looks like he's about to fight Frank Gore. And I'm like, oh, no.
The question was over. It was about the 49ers. And he was wrong because at the end he said, you know what, you're right. He was like, you're right. I was like, yeah. I can't remember exactly what it was. I'm surprised nobody filmed it. I was on level 100. I came in hot. This is how much I love the Niners. You could have played for this team, but don't you tell me about my team. And it was the funniest.
I just looked over and I was like, uh-oh.
But we weren't even into that. No, we were both arguing our points. It has something to do with like players executing versus something. I don't remember what it was, but it was amazing. He's one of the greatest people you can get to know, greatest human beings you can get to know. Real cool guy, down to earth, man. But it's gonna be a part 2. He's gonna say something that's gonna trip me off. I'm be like,
oh, dude, he took the mic at Seattle and started doing the F the Seahawks chant with the whole freaking thing. I mean, it was just incredible.
Gotta love him. Gotta love him. So cool. Score prediction from John Chapman, because if the offense is going to suck, whew.
Well, I think the run game is.
Oh, yeah, you said that. My bad.
I think they're going to move. I've got the 49ers winning 22-17 in like one of those weird scoring whatever. I mean, shoot, we had a safety, we had a free kick, we had all that stuff. So I do have the 49ers winning. Yeah, there we go.
I thought Gore was going to knock him out.
I
but
did too.
I realized that boxing is
reach.
I did. Yo, I learned so much from that. Because listen, John, I grew up in the Iron Mike era. And I'm just looking for knockouts. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking my mindset of boxing is that boxing has changed.
Oh, dude. I was a fat, chubby kid. Shocker to nobody. I was in Golden Gloves like almost my whole life. And so I always had to fight the tall, skinny dudes. And me and my fat, short-armed self, like these dudes would just freaking pummel my face the whole time because I couldn't reach them. And so then I was like, oh, well, if I do MMA, then I just get to tackle them. That's what I could do. So I just had to learn. Yeah, boxing. I love boxing. But, man, you give me MMA, just go to the ground.
You got to get them down to the ground, man.
Dude,
you can't do that.
It's in the wrong sport.
Yeah, it's just, it reaches everything in boxing. That reach, wingspan, all that stuff, it matters. I mean, the hands matter, quickness of the hands, but we don't talk about the reach too much. And Gore might have had the power, but he couldn't connect, and that was the issue. So, like, Mike was different, but he was different. But I grew up in the wrong era. I grew up in that era where you get knocked out by a third round. And so that's what I was expecting for Gore. So go back to your score prediction, bro. What's going on?
22-17. I got the Niners winning and covering. I think that they're the better team. I think they're the more consistent team. I think they have the better coaching staff. I think they have better stars. It's going to be like both defenses are good, though. But I think the Niners come out on top of this one, and I think they throw a lot. I think Brock Purdy gets 35-plus passing attempts, and I think, we're going to see Demarcus Robinson. He's going to play well.
We got a Jags fan in the chat, and they're going to get some love shown.
I love it.
All right. This talk about my Jags is so funny. You guys are so clueless about this team that's coming. LMAO. Now, he left. So I'm curious to know if he left because he knows his team's going to get their ass whipped, or is he laughing because we're clueless about the team?
Hey, man, I'm just saying, what team got beat by a backup quarterback? That's all I'm saying. Come on, Black.
I need Mac Jones to start in this game. I want Brock Purdy back, but I need Mac Jones to start in this game. Just
this old team.
Stick it to the black and teal. You know what I'm saying? But Black and Teal 82, man, thanks for tuning in. Definitely appreciate your support over here, man. Look, we talked about your team. We told you what y'all were good at, and we told you what you sucked at. We talked about what we were good at and what we sucked at. It's pretty.
Wow.
I can't even say that shit right. I do remember having a great time in Duval.
Yeah.
In Jacksonville.
Dude, they were giving out IVs at the tailgate thing. They were giving out like hydration IVs in the parking lot, man. They get down there. I'll say that.
I remember that. I remember having a great time. I remember the after party. I remember whipping that ass. I remember that.
Oh, that game was over by the first quarter, man.
I remember Trevor Lawrence looking like he was the last pick in the era. He didn't even look like Brock Purdy. He couldn't even stand up to that. But John, 22-17 score prediction. Interesting. Did I get my score prediction? I haven't
heard yours yet. I don't remember.
I like to be consistent, and I don't want to say something new. So I got to go back and listen to what my score prediction was. I think I said it was going to be a close game, like a 4-point game. I don't remember saying it was going to be a high-scoring game, though. I really think the Niners, if they can't really sustain or establish and sustain some type of a run game, and they do have to drop back, over or under, John, 40 dropbacks, over or under.
Man, I wanted to say 35. I'm going to go under. I'm going to go under 40.
All right, so last week
I think the bet is 31.5 on Vegas. So
the last game was 41, and the game before that was 39. I can't remember how many Purdy had in week 1, and we don't know who the starting quarterback is going to be. So is that by design? Are they both limited on purpose?
I think Brock's going. I think Brock almost went last week, but I think he's going this week.
24-17.
Especially with Mac banked up.
I remember now. 24-17.
I got 22-17. All right, there we go.
So 24-17. Yeah. 3 touchdowns and a field goal. Give it to me, baby.
Give it
One
to
more.
me, baby.
All right, Rick James. John, take us home, baby. We stayed over our hour. Y'all need to give us a round of applause. Thank y'all so much for all the super chats. Shout out to the Breezy Bunch crew for holding it down. Shout out to all the moderators in the chat. It's too many of y'all. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for holding it down. John, take us home, baby.
Bad things happen when Florida people come out west or come out, to California. It's too far a trip, man. They ain't ready for this. You look at who the Jaguars have played. Bengals lost to a backup quarterback. Texans barely got a victory. And then the Panthers. Like, we are not them. They are not the same. You're not on our level. Trevor Lawrence, you got beautiful hair, man. I don't know what else to say besides that, but yeah, you look great. The hair's great. You're just not an NFL quarterback. I'm sorry, Sunshine. It's just not there. The 49ers are the better coach team. The 49ers have the better roster. The 49ers are at home. I don't care about the injuries. Even with the injuries, the 49ers are the better team. They take care of business. Might be the ugliest 4-0 team, but they're going to be 4-0. That's all I got for you. Thank you guys so much for letting me join you. And until next time, stay strong, faithful.
What's up, faithful? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And make sure you check out some of the other cool videos.